Playing with slow video game characters can be frustrating, and a good reason to turn the game off. Some players actually choose to embrace the slow movements and use a few little tricks to turn these movements into some impressive speedruns. See these runs in action and how slow characters have been made to look impressively fast. But before you watch, speedrun to the subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Number 10. Yo Noid. Fast food and junk food video games have been promoting various companies for years. McDonald's had their own Nintendo game in the 90s. Burger King released various games for the Xbox 360. And Skittles even had their own game released for the GameCube. Surprisingly, the one company on the forefront of this video game trend was Domino's Pizza. In the 1980s and 90s, the Noid was the Domino's mascot who got to star in 2 different video games. Yo Noid for the NES was the more popular option, but the Noid moved through levels at a painstakingly slow pace. You would think they would speed it up to help match their fast delivery times. Despite the Noid's casual movements in the platforming game, many players have attempted speedruns in the classic. The world record speedrun of the game is currently held at 22 minutes and 15 seconds. YouTube user The Mexican Runner posted footage of this feat, and even he looked bored moving through the game's 14 various levels at a snail's pace. The record is pretty impressive, considering that most players would give up after a couple levels, and just order Domino's Pizza instead. Number 9. Earthquake battles in WWF WrestleFest. The new generation of WWE 2K games are great simulations of the real WWE, with realistic characters, impressive graphics, and plenty of match types of playthrough. Despite their success, there's still something fun about playing the original arcade classic, WWF WrestleFest. The game featured an all-star cast of WWE superstars, including Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect, The Ultimate Warrior, and Jake the Snake Roberts. One of the slowest moving characters in the bunch was the massive Earthquake. Earthquake moved slow in the ring, but could make up for it with powerful slams and his Earthquake Splash. One player decided to take up the challenge and survive a whole Royal Rumble using just Earthquake. He survived multiple superstars, eliminating several of them, and took on fast-paced opponents like the Legion of Doom and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Unlike a real Royal Rumble, pinfalls were allowed and Earthquake used them to his advantage by pinning wrestlers like Sergeant Slaughter. In the end, he was left with Animal from the Legion of Doom and made him submit using a giant bear hug. Earthquake defeated all of his opponents in just under 8 minutes and stood victorious as the winner. Hey guys, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from The Richest, Screen Rant, The Taco, The Sportster, The Things, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place, with an ad-free browsing experience. Check out the Premium by clicking on this link. Sign up for free and start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels. Number 8. Marge in the Simpsons Arcade. The Simpsons Arcade was a great way to spend dozens of quarters in the 90s. Each joystick was tied to a specific character. While Bart, Lisa, and Homer's area seemed pretty worn out, it was Marge who got the least use in the game. The animated mother of 3 was slow-moving as she battled in the button masher while wearing her signature dress. Even though she trots through the crime-ridden streets like an ordinary day of running errands, some speedrunners have been able to defeat the game with just her in under 19 minutes. Even though she walks slow, Marge is equipped with one of the best weapons in the game, a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum has a far reach, allowing Marge to nail enemies before they get close. This helps her breeze through sections and reach the end of a level quickly. YouTube player Makina Azul is able to use quick jumps and movements to get her through sections and defeat enemies quickly. By picking up weapons and using them to his advantage, he is able to control Marge and quickly get through some of the tougher boss battles. In the end, Maggie is rescued and Marge can slowly trot home in celebration. Number 7. The original Tomb Raider. Originally released in 1996, Tomb Raider was ahead of its time. The graphics and gameplay in the original PlayStation release were impressive and helped lead to multiple sequels, film adaptations, and even an animated series. While many players looked at the franchise with a lot of nostalgia, they may not realize how slow Lara Croft actually was in the game. When the character walked, it was at a snail's pace, and it didn't feel much faster when it came to running. The character was meant to explore, but many parts of the levels include her just walking through empty areas. Even though she moves slowly, many speedrunners have found ways to increase her speeds and create impressive times times in completing the game. The YouTube speedrunner Action Turnip has showcased multiple speedruns through the game at under 1 hour and 20 minutes. This was done by relying on Croft's jump forward action. By continuously leaping forward, the slow pace of Croft is eliminated and the game can be defeated at a much quicker pace. Not only can he move faster, but he has the ability to defeat enemies, solve puzzles, and get through some of the game's toughest areas. Number 6. Toad's Journey in Super Mario Wii. Super Mario Wii completely changed the Mario platforming aspect by allowing 4 characters to go through levels at the same time. Along with staples like Mario and Luigi, players had the ability to control either Blue Toad or Yellow Toad. Let's face it, the Toads don't seem as fast or as cool as using Mario and his brother. They're shorter, slower, and it can be a huge challenge to use them in vertical-based levels, where you have to make fast and high jumps. While Mario has been the star of speedruns for years, many players took advantage of the Toads to create all types of speedruns in the classic Wii game. Going through the whole game without using any secret warps or pipes, the YouTube user eWallerTV is able to defeat the whole game in 2 hours and 8 minutes. It's pretty impressive to watch him control Toad, collect power-ups, and defeat all of the bosses without the help of Mario along the way. Toad is typically only allowed to be used in multiplayer games, but an emulator and a mod made him the single-player character for this adventure. That makes it a little hard to duplicate yourself, but still impressive to see. Number 5. Fallout: New Vegas. The 4th edition of the Fallout series brought the game to new heights. Released in 2010, the game featured impressive graphics, great storytelling, and the ability to switch between first-person and third-person views with ease. Set in the futuristic world known as New Vegas, the game creates a compelling land to explore and plenty of quests to do along the way. The game is known for its long play, and part of that reason is because of the slow-moving characters. The main character in the game may have been shot in the head, but there's no reason to have him trot along in the desert like he's never walked before. It's a far cry from faster-moving games like Halo and Call of Duty. The success of the Fallout series has led to a massive amount of speedruns seen online. Players have spent hours and hours exploring the game, but by eliminating all of the load times, one player was able to defeat the whole thing in just 13 minutes and 38 seconds. One way to help him is a glitch that allows him to look at the Pip-Boy, save the game, and then jump several feet ahead instead of actually having to move there. It cuts out time and makes a huge difference in defeating the game. Number 4. LEGO Star Wars. The LEGO video game franchise has never been known for its slow pace. You can go through a whole Indiana Jones trilogy in just a few hours. Multiple Marvel movies have been condensed down to just one game. And then there's the Star Wars franchise. While it's great to speed through levels as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or Finn, there are some slow characters in the game. For anyone that has played LEGO Star Wars, the complete saga, you know how slow Yoda can be. He may be old, but they should have moved him a little faster. Thankfully, he can jump far, and that's how players have done speedruns on Revenge of the Sith levels. Even when he's jumping high and fast, it's humorous to see him walk with a cane for some of the cutscenes. More slow characters were added for the release of LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. By downloading the Jabba's Palace DLC content, players have been able to do speedruns with the slow-moving Hutt family. The larger LEGO characters may move more slowly, but they are still fun to play with as you can explore levels and slide across the desert sand as quickly as possible. Number 3. Heavy in Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is filled with a lot of different characters to choose from. Each one has different attributes that make them better than the others. If you're looking for strength and power, then Heavy is one of the best options. Heavy is a huge character who earned his nickname for a reason. The big guy may have power, but he moves slow. Despite this, Heavy is still the player of choice for many speedrunners. His other skills make up for the slow speed and allow him to easily defeat enemies and earn extra points in levels. The Russian character comes loaded with guns, and players have used him to survive maps and kill off enemies as quickly as possible. Part of the reason for his slow speeds are the giant weapons that he carries through levels. This includes multiple versions of his Iron Curtain guns that come loaded with tons of ammo. It also doesn't help that he loves to carry sandwiches and chocolate bars around to increase his health. Heavy was promoted as one of the main characters in Team Fortress 2, and this is one of the main reasons that so many players use him in speedruns and map battles with other players. Number 2. Gears of War. Gears of War features great gameplay, an inventive story, and plenty of action to unload onto other players. For a majority of the game, you can speed through levels shooting your head off. But there are many times where you are forced to slow down. No matter what type of action is happening on the screen, the main character is forced to walk anytime he talks on the headset. This adds a realistic nature to the game, but it can also make some parts painfully slow. While you're forced to go through the walking sections, speedrunners have found a way to make them go as quickly as possible. The YouTube channel Simpsons Arcade showcased an impressive Gears of War run that clocked in at 1 hour and 34 minutes. What made this run so impressive is that it was played on insane difficulty. That means there were more enemies, more challenges, and less health to gather while exploring levels. The player did this crazy time while facing the slow speeds and hard challenges that they were confronted with. This helped set a precedent for all the future sequels in the Gears of War series. Number 1. Lester the Unlikely. The Super Nintendo is known for some great platforming games, including Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. One game unlikely to make the list is Lester the Unlikely. The strange game puts players in control of Lester, a geeky teen who has been transported to some type of tropical island. While players are used to controlling brave heroes, Lester lurches back, moves slowly, and cowers in fear when enemies confront him. It's as frustrating as you think, and even though the game should have been locked in a time capsule somewhere, players still emulate it today and attempt to get speedruns using the slow and annoying character. One of the best speedruns featuring Lester the Unlikely was done by YouTube user Coughing Rocks. He was able to avoid Lester's slouchy walk and use him to jump, climb, and access all different levels. The final time to beat the whole game was just 16 minutes, and was pretty impressive. It's hard to imagine anyone spending more than 3 minutes with this game, never mind playing it so much that you set some type of speedrun record. Do not expect to see this one on the SNES Classic when it's released. And there you have it. What character do you think is the slowest? What speedrun was the most impressive? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to The Gamer on YouTube so you can stay up to date with all our awesome playlists. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Gamer.